Okay, hopefully we're back. I do apologize for the tomfoolery. Okay, it looks like we're back. I had to do a whole ass reset. I am not happy about doing that, but hopefully the autosave had kicked in with the last bit that I had done. If it didn't, well, I'm going to be a not so happy camper. It looks like we're back in business. I don't know what the hell happened there. Okay, it looks like things did did maintain. Sorry about that, folks. I have no idea what happened there. Well, aside from the fact that I think that in the and make things even worse, the audio setup is okay. That should fix that. All right. I'm not happy about having to do that reset, but hopefully things should be back in order. Hopefully. I have no idea what happened there. Just everything decided to conk out. The game conked out. The OBS conked out. The only reason I didn't buckle down and get a PS5 is that if I was to stream it as promised, I would have to get a whole new Elgato setup for that generation. The current Elgato that I do have is mostly for PS1 and Xbox One. Not PS1, PS4 and Xbox One.
Looks like I found the river. Now where's Gav?
Ah, there's Gav.
Sorry to keep you, Gav.
Better late than never. I've had a quick scout about, and I reckon round here's our best bet if we want to grab as much of this Stardust stuff as we can. Don't know what Blackthorn's planning to do with it, though. I asked over in Dalamil, and they seem to think it was worthless. But if Stardust is what Blackthorn wants, Stardust is what he'll get. There's plenty of this stuff lying about, just begging to be bagged.
Oh, like gold fishing.
Then let's get bagging, shall we?
We shall. Race ya.
This is stardust. It just looks like black sand to me.
And there's some loot. 3 desert roses. Okay. Alright, that's 2 down. There's got to be some more around here somewhere. And there is. So that's 3 down. Where might the last one of it be? Closer to the boundary, perhaps? No. Am I missing us? Nope, I went past the boundary. Ah, right in front of my face.
That should be enough for now. Let's see how Gav's getting on.
And I have a feeling Gav is getting himself into trouble. Or maybe not.
You finished? How much did you get?
Enough. I hope.
Looks like he got a lot more of it.
Oh, you win. That might even be enough for old Blackthorn. Hey, before we go, do you mind if we have a chat? Feels like ages since we had the chance to talk. You know, man to man like.
It does, doesn't it?
Back when you first took Sid's name, we were talking all the time. Working out what to do in that.
There was a lot to work out.
And there still is. Those shoulders of yours starting to feel the strain. Hardly ever see you around the hideaway nowadays. Always on some errand or other. You can take a day off, you know.
Says the man who spends most of his time behind enemy lines.
Only 'cause you keep sending me there.
I know I can count on you, Gav.
Likewise. So you keep sending me wherever you need to, and I'll keep going. Safe in the knowledge that I have a home to come back to. Thanks to you. Right. That's enough soppy shite for one day. We'd better get this lot back to Blackthorn before he slings his hammer at someone.
Why would he do that? That's a waste of a perfectly good hammer.
Trying to get some rest once you're there.
Oh, I plan to. Believe you me. After Blackthorn gets what he needs, of course.
Right. Ready to go home, boy?
Right. Back to the hideaway it is. And that bit of crashing has me second guessing some of the parts here. But we are going to power through it. I made a promise and I intend on keeping that promise.
Blackthorn, got everything you need?
Yeah. Yeah, I do. Cheers for the Stardust. Should be enough to be getting on with.
We should go out on maneuvers together more often. You know, it beats sneaking around on your tud all the time.
I'll make a start on putting this thermal plating together then. It'll take some time, mind. So if you've got other things to be getting on with, I could do without you breathing down my neck.
Thank you, Blackthorn. I'll let Mid know construction's underway.
And we leveled up as well. Nice. And 3 forms of valuables.
Suppose we'd better be getting back to work too.
Give us a shout if you need anything.
Yeah, let's head over there.
If I don't come up with something soon.
You'll be pleased to hear that Blackthorn started work on the plating.
Excellent. 1 down, 2 to go.
So, what's next?
The helm, of course. For this, we'll be repurposing fallen scrap.
Salvage from the ruins? I thought that material was all but impossible to work.
Ah, but we don't have to.
I'm sorry.
Just so happens there's one particular ruin that's broken into exactly the right shape and size pieces for what we need. What's the name back there? I'll give you all the details.
What's her name? Right.
Definitely an engineer.
Oh, Sid, is this about the helm?
Yes. Mid said I should speak with you.
I'll show you the plans then. Here you see the mithril engine, in which mithril is burned to generate heat. That heat is then harnessed to produce motive force. Excess heat is dealt with by means of the thermal displacement stack, which disperses it into the surrounding air. Now, were we to rely on thermal plating alone to achieve this effect, the rate of excess heat buildup would far exceed the displacement coefficient of the plating. In other words, the reactor would overheat and eventually explode. This is where the helm comes in. It connects to the plating, you see, and serves as a sort of thermal sink to absorb all that excess energy. Our experiments have shown that fallen ceramics are remarkably thermophilic. They can withstand and absorb levels of heat far above anything we are able to make today. And not only that, they're also waterproof and immune to rust, making them the perfect material for our protective hood. Why, if sea or rainwater were to enter the reactor proper, it would vaporize instantly. The forces produced would tear the ship from stern to...
You can stop there. I understand. Mid said we might be able to use parts of a fallen ruin. Where would I find it?
Ah, yes. It's in Lorbert's Pass, near Lostwing.
Back to Lost
The
Wing,
thing
huh?
is, well, I probably should have arranged to have the pieces we need brought here sooner. You see, a certain unwanted visitor has taken up residence there. It's no longer a matter of just walking in and taking them. It's, going to be considerably more dangerous than that.
I see. Then I suppose I'd better deal with this unwanted visitor for you. Would that help?
Oh, very much. Thank you, Sid. I'll gather my team and head there right away. We'll meet you outside the ruins.
But before we head there, there's one small detail I'd like to take care of.
How may I help you today, Clive? Is everything we've received and everything promised? You earned this. All done?
Alright, Lost Wing it is.
I'll be taking you all to a storehouse in the Bales. Leave anything you don't need behind.
I don't like the vibes I'm getting here.
You know what you have to do.
Oh, well.
That his lordship's vultures should be found circling the village can mean only one thing. That he means to strike at us before we can strike at him. There is no time to lose. The final stage of our plan must be put into motion.
Oh, that would explain quite a bit.
Come, my children.
Hymns of Krakow. But we don't have time for dogma. Although while I'm here, Not worth the trouble.
There you are, Sid. Thanks so much for coming. The, ruins are just over there, as is the creature I told you about, I'd imagine. Would you mind?
Of course. I'll be right back. Anybody home? This must be our unwanted visitor. Time to go.
Ahriman, didn't I kill you already? And hopefully Ahriman stays dead this time. But probably won't.
The things I do for you, Mid.
Sid! Oh, thank goodness you're safe.
You shouldn't have any trouble now.
Indeed. Well, don't let us keep you. We'll, see that everything is transported safely back to the hideaway.
All right. I'll let Mid know you're on your way.
Right, back to the hideaway it is.
If I don't come up with something soon.
Mid. Helena has recovered the material for the helm. She'll be along shortly.
Excellent. Another job well done.
And just one remaining.
Right. Right, the shielding. This one's a bit of a bugger.
How so?
The plating's enough to stop the engines going pop, but those things will still be spitting out enough fire to set the rest of the ship ablaze. Which is why you need proper shielding. A prison for the dragon's breath that's blazing away inside. I thought a triple thick layer of tempered steel might do it. Or more of the stuff that the Fallen use, but they'd both be too heavy. The helm and the plating are bulky enough as it is. Add any more weight and the whole ship would be at the bottom of the briny before we'd even started. I need something light. But I've racked my brains and I just can't think what would do it.
Well, if I were in need of obscure knowledge, I know whose counsel I would seek. Harpocrates.
Tomes? Yeah, well, I'd thought of that, obviously. I've got all the details written down here. Can you take this to him, see what he makes of it?
Right away.
Wait, why don't you go to do it yourself? Wait, this is Mid. She lives in this workshop.
Mid might need some help tidying up that workshop.
Just one little shortcut.
How may I help you today, Clive? Here you are. Best of luck out there, Sid.
I have a feeling there's going to be something really special at the end of the Renowned track. If there isn't, I'm going to be significantly disappointed.
Harpocrates, do you have a moment?
For you, Clive, always.
Well, actually, it's for Mid this time. Could you take a look at this?
Shielding for a mithril engine. Whatever will that girl think of next? And what are these notes around the edges?
She has some specific requirements for the materials. The shielding needs to be able to resist extreme heat on the inside, and yet remain cool enough on the outside not to set the ship alight, while also being light enough not to sink it. As you can imagine, she's struggling to find anything that meets her needs.
I see.
I wondered if you might know of a solution, or if you might be able to search the records for one.
Perhaps it is not a different material she requires, but a different approach.
What do you mean?
Consider the lake we have made our home. Its blighted waters eat away far more quickly than fresh water or even brine, at timber and steel alike. And yet, we have made a home here from those very materials nonetheless.
We have. But Bardolph must varnish every board twice over to keep it from rotting. And Obelus complains that without a constant supply of pitch. I see.
Early Gregorian histories speak of a preparation known as moon dew. It is said to be able to resist even the most ferocious flames. Before the dragoons tamed the worms and wyverns of the realm, nobles would daub their castle walls with it in order to guard against dragonfire.
So if we could recreate it...
It might be applied to some material or other in order to provide the protection Mid requires. As to how best to apply it and to what material, perhaps Bardolph and Obelus might be of assistance. I shall speak to them and see what wisdom they might have to offer. If you would be so kind as to procure the necessary ingredients, I shall discuss the specifics of how it might be most effectively put to use with our two friends. The knowledge of the past may yet prove useful to we of the modern era.
Thank you, Harpocrates. And since you're asking others to help you, perhaps I should too.
So you need a hand, do you?
We do. I'll be heading to market for the ingredients we need. I could do with some help. And some company, too.
The other can assist me in researching how best to prepare the shielding itself.
Can we count on your aid?
Always. Well, if Jill's game.
Thank you.
I am sure either of these fine young minds would prove indispensable in my research. I leave the decision as to who will go with whom in your capable hands, Clive.
Shielding that guards against even the most ferocious flames. We could have done with some of that on Justinus. I doubt I would have survived that place with or without it. A trip to Northreach, though, I think either of us could handle. Shielding that guards against even the most ferocious flames. We could have done with some of that.
So, Clive, have you made your decision? Who will accompany you?
Very well. So then, what do we need to find?
I have taken the liberty of preparing a list. Here.
White chocobo eggs. Pepio nuts. Are you sure this list is right? Everything on here seems very edible. I would have thought the ingredients would be a little more exotic.
Though these items may seem mundane, they have potent effects that are rarely exploited, effects for which they were once highly prized. So much so, in fact, that they were harvested almost to extinction, hence moon dews having fallen from favor. Now, of course, they can be obtained with ease. You should be able to find everything you need at the market in Northreach.
Is that so? I've been meaning to visit Northreach anyway. I'll set out now. Join me there when you're ready.
I will. Until then.
You two enjoy yourselves.
You too, Talia.
Oh, Northreach it is. Here's hoping we don't have another one of those freezing incidents.
No. Where's
Okay,
Jill?
good.
Slavers don't even bother with Northreach now that all the highborn have fled south.
And what can I do for you? Come back again.
Keep them pilgers nice and chilled. I won't have...
Are those Pepio nuts?
How goes the hunt for ingredients?
I've only just started. I'm sure everything we need is somewhere amongst all these stalls, though. Why don't we split up and see? We'll take a couple of ingredients each.
All right. What am I looking for?
How about you look for the Pepio nuts and some garlic? I'll find the other things we need. We can meet by the gate when we're finished.
Up! You'll not find a bruised pippin. Fresh cut! All anyone ever wants anymore is raw great. How much?
You haven't much, but you're free to look. I trust it's all here. Any friend of the innkeeper is a friend of mine.
Why didn't I use that
Always
sooner?
welcome here in Lostwing.
Buy, sell, or be gone. Go on, take it. Thanks for nothing.
That's everything. Let's see how Jill's getting on.
He's a bit cantankerous.
Did you find everything?
I did. Here.
Garlic and pepio nuts. Perfect. Now all that remains is for Harpocrates to somehow turn all this into what Mid needs to keep her engine cool. But before we head back, would you walk with me a while? Thank you for asking me to help you today. It makes a nice change.
It does. It's good to get away from all the battle and bloodshed for once. Just being here reminds me of when we were children. Do you remember walking down Market Street in Rosalith, taking in the sights and smells?
How could I forget? What with Torgal's antics. Remember how his nose would prick up at the scent of sausages? He'd go racing away and we'd have to go running after him. We wouldn't catch you now, would we, boy?
Was there anything you wanted to buy for yourself while we're here?
There was, yes. Well, sort of. Molly in the kitchens told me about a place that sells particularly good pies. Thought you might like to share one with me.
I would. Thank you.
And I saw some bread. Big white cobs like the baker back in Rosalith used to make. What do you think? I thought we might get some soup to dip it in. But then I tried a slice of the butcher's dry-cured ham and it was just... oh.
You all right?
Sorry. It's just... you're right. I really do feel like a child again being here with you. Clive. Is it wrong of me to enjoy this?
No, Jill. This is how life should be. And it's how our lives will be when our work is finally done. When we can live on our own terms.
I hope so. Thank you, Clive. Well, I suppose we better be getting back. I need to give these ingredients to Harpocrates and Talia. I'll see you at the hideaway.
Take care.
I will. You too.
Hold on a moment, folks. I have one small thing I need to take care of, but I'm not hitting the BRB because I don't need to go, because it's not going to take that long. It's just a bit of checking just to make sure things that I've got planned down the road are going to go as I need them to, or at least as close to that as I can.
How's work on the shielding progressing, Harpocrates?
Well, very well indeed. And thanks in no small part to your kind assistance. I was just explaining to Tarja how we might best go about preparing the moon dew. And now that we have all the ingredients, we may begin.
You can count on me. I've mixed more than a few mysterious concoctions in my time.
I'm sure you have. What about the shielding itself?
Work is underway, under the watchful eyes of Bardolph and Obolus.
Apparently, it'll be ready soon.
Thank you. All of you.
Right then.
Jill, would you join me in the infirmary? Many hands make light work and all that.
Of course. Oh, and Clive, thank you. It was nice just being with you.
It appears our work here is almost at an end. A shame. I was enjoying playing the man of action for once. When both the shielding and the moon dew are ready, it will merely be a matter of applying the one to the other. Followed by a rigorous process of testing and retesting, of course. Perhaps someone ought to warn young Mid of that.
Too late.
Thank you, Hippocrates.
I don't think she's going to be that patient.
Well, I'd better go and give Mid the good news then. Sorry to keep you waiting, Mid. But you'll be pleased to know that work on the shielding is underway.
You found something for it?
In a manner of speaking, Hippocrates knew of a substance that's highly resistant to heat. A coating that should provide the protection you need. He's supervising the construction and testing of the shielding as we speak.
Brilliant! I knew you wouldn't let me down.
Don't thank me. I'm just the errand boy.
Right then, better start working out how to bolt all these bits together. To the Black Hammer!
The Black Hammer will solve it with the power of grumbling.
You know, when I got into the smithing game, I thought I'd be making swords and shields, not thermal bleeding didgeridoo-dahs.
Displacement stacks.
Same difference. Whatever you call it, I ain't putting it together in here. It's cramped enough as it is. Let's take this outside. Mid, you get all the parts lined up on the deck. I'll take care of the rest.
On my way!
Oh, and bring me the biggest hammer you can find. This is gonna require some precision walloping.
Sometime later.
It's finished! It's finally finished!
Fuck for that. I'll be feeling my hammer arm for weeks.
Thank you, Clive, Blackthorn, everyone. That's one down and just 3 more to go.
What?
I'm sorry.
Oh, didn't I tell you? The Enterprise has 4 mithril engines and we'll be needing a displacement stack for each.
You don't mean...
Don't worry. Now they've got a finished one to work off. My gang in Canva can build the rest.
Do not scare me like that.
Right, I'm off to get a sling for this elbow. Any other work comes in, keep it to yourselves, eh?
see. Any side quests open yet? Nope.
What's the matter?
Nothing. Just daydreaming. Thinking about the Enterprise sailing off over the horizon to shores unknown. Searching for a land untouched by the Blight. Just like me and my dad planned. So if the worst came to the worst and every scrap of soil in the Twins turned black, we might still have a chance. That's what she was meant to be. You see, one last chance just in case we needed it. But now she's so close to being finished, I've realized I don't want her to be that. I don't want her to be just a lifeboat for us to cling to if things get desperate. I want people to sail aboard her by choice, not from the lack of it. In a world where we're not just trying to survive, but where we can actually live.
I'm working on that. And I'll do everything I can to get you what you want.
Don't you always? All right. My mind's made up. As soon as the Enterprise is fit to sail, I'm putting her under your command. Sod our plans, I'm trusting in yours.
Are you sure about this?
Something tells me it's what my dad would have wanted.
He'd be proud of you.
You were gonna visit his grave, weren't you?
I was. And you can come too now that your little project is finished.
Right. There's just one thing I need to finish up first. Won't be a mo.
All right. I'll let Otto know you're coming. Meet us in the mess when you're ready.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Technically we do have a Sid and on a ship. So that has been maintained.
Times help to build.
Mid told me she was building a ship.
All right, Clive. Asterix. Mid finished sending half the hideaway traipsing across the Twins, has she? I swear, that girl'd do anything to put off visiting her old dad's grave. No excuses now, though, eh?
Not quite. She said there was one final thing she had to take care of. I'm sure she'll be finished soon enough.
She said that? In those words?
She did, yes.
Clive,
Why am I concerned?
were you born yesterday or something? There is no thing. She'll probably be halfway to Canva by now.
Mid. I might still be able to catch her. Obolus, have you seen Mid?
Yep. In a boat, going that way.
Then I'm too late.
You in a hurry at all, are you? Oh, I offered to take her across, but she wouldn't wait. Just paid for a dinghy and rowed off. Oars going like the clappers. Got some life in her, ain't she? But anyway, I was on my way up to see you, as it happens. Got a letter for you. Urgent, by the sound of it. One of your uncle's men said I was to hand it to you in person, post-bleeding haste. And you're here now.
Thank you, Obolus.
Don't mention it.
What tidings, Uncle?
My dear boy, my journey to Canver has been a resounding success. The friend I mentioned not only agreed to share the contents of his strongbox with us, but his considerable knowledge of the goings-on in the Free Cities, by which I learned of the endeavors of a certain young friend of yours. Though I, for one, believe Miss Telemon's project to be quite the valiant enterprise, I doubt the Canverian authorities will take kindly to the unauthorized use of their dockyards, no matter how deserted, and if rumor has already reached my friend, it may not be long before the guildmasters are rapping at our door. which is why I pen you this note. I would like to borrow your man Gav for a moon or two, that he might keep a watch on those who might mean our little fellowship ill, and warn us of any impending attack. I trust that you will give this proposal your full consideration. English monk. Your loving uncle.
Trouble in Canva. Well, I'll need someone to keep an eye on Mid.
So what? Mid got us to do all the dirty work and then just sailed off into the sunset?
It, seems that way.
Well, nothing we can do about it now. But next time you plan on visiting Sid, you might want to tie her to something before you suggest it.
Ah, don't be so hard on her. Gotta admit, the dirty work was kind of fun. Everyone pitching in, all that bollocks. Just like when we built this place.
You're right.
Anyway, we all set to head to the old hideaway. I could do with getting to Canva pretty sharpish. Wouldn't do to keep Lord Rosfield of the Seven High Houses waiting now, would it? Not after he asked for me personally.
Gav will be leaving with me.
Gav, don't get penisy.
The place while we're gone.
You can count on me. Just be sure to give Sid and the others my regards. All right.
Oh, by the way, Jill will be joining us too. She's got some things to take care of, but she'll meet us there.
I hope she's telling the truth at least.
But before we do that, I am going to hit the BRB for a couple minutes. And Dragon, you came back into the usual affair. But we'll be back shortly. I just need to grab some more tea. We are back. And I see that Phoenix snuck in while I was gone. But as far as the volume doubling on you, I think that's going to be an issue on your end, not any audio issue on my end. And we may have missed a side quest, but hopefully we can take it later.
Well, Sid, I remember what you told me. But if no one is listening to what you have to say, you may as well not say it. But I will say this, old friend. Hugo Kuka is gone. His shadow looms over us no longer.
It's a pity the Phoenix can't be in two places at once. If he'd have been with us, maybe he could have done something for the lost.
Interesting phrase there.
Can bring people back from the dead. Life has a beginning and an end. So we must live while we have the chance. Not as slaves to the crystals, but as free men.
May we join you?
Lady Karen, what a pleasant surprise.
I thought I'd drop by and see how you were all doing before heading off to restock my supplies. wasn't the most scenic view back then, but it were never as bad as this.
I know. The blight marches on. And soon, there'll be no escaping sights like these. So our mission remains unchanged. We cannot stop until every Mother Crystal is gone, and their thirst for ether with them. The only one that remains in store is Drake's tail in the crystalline dominion.
Our next target.
How was Sigil 2 for you?
It's the capital of the Empire these days. I wouldn't like to think how tightly guarded they've got
Surprise,
the place.
motherfucker!
And thank you for the raid.
That'll stop you.
Oh, I know you were going through Sigil 2. How was that?
We would indeed.
If you're off to the Dominion, you can take this great lump with you.
Goods.
Oh, I am sorry. Have you forgotten you're the most wanted man in the Twins? I thought you might like to disguise yourselves as the attendants of a travelling trader, assuming you've no better ideas. You wanted to buy yourself some tools, didn't you? Well, now's your chance.
Nightmare, but I got through it. What, were you playing it on Nightmare? I sure hope not.
You're letting me go with them. Oh, thanks, Nan.
Stop that! You break me bones, you great galoot.
Definitely doing a redemption run through it.
There's a caravan that runs back and forth between the Dominion and the Bocklab markets. It's managed by the Merchants Guild. Just show them Goots' traders pass and you'll be on your way. It'll be a damn sight less risky than footing it the length of the Crystal Road. That's for sure.
Thank you, Karen. And glad to have you with us, Goots.
Okay then. I'll get me things and I'll meet yous there. See yous down in
It did hurt me plenty to this pixel.
Get off! Me poor fingers!
Jill.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Understood.
And Gav.
Already on my way, Captain.
Still to get to the secret level, though, so that was fun.
Aren't I always?
So, between Sigil 1 and 2, which would you say is the better episode?
Did you see that, Sid? Your protégé's making a proper little outlaw of himself.
Before we go over there, let's head to the hideaway for one moment. Personally, like Sigil 1 a little better, but Sigil 2 did a couple of those that were fun to run.
He cracked the crystal too. You're joking.
I could see that.
Hopefully it's nothing. But I should speak to Blackthorn just in case.
Okay, all of Doom 1 is done, Doom 2 is next.
Blackthorn, do you have a moment?
Not really, no.
This won't take long. I just wanted to ask how you're getting on. August was worried about you, that you might still be doubting your craft, even after learning the trick of that cuirass. Is there something else weighing on your mind? Perhaps sharing your thoughts might help.
If you're doing Doom 2, then that means you get to revisit my most hated enemy.
Gotta
Not archviles, but fucking pain elementals.
Karen showed me something.
And chain gunners.
Something I've never seen before.
And that was?
A sword. An odd-looking thing with a single edge blade. The metal itself wasn't anything to write home about, but fuck me. The edge on it. You could slice a man clean in two with a weapon like that, and he'd be halfway home before he even realised he'd been cut.
So that's what's troubling you.
I'm sure I'm not the only one who hates them. I'm also sure I still hate them.
Distracting. Can't stop thinking, how do you get an edge that sharp? It's driving me mad.
And if you knew how to do it, we could arm the curse breakers with even better blades.
That's about the size of it, yeah.
I'll see what I can find out. Sharper swords are always welcome. And we can't have our master blacksmith being distracted.
You're a soft touch, you know that. But I can't say I'm not grateful for it. Good luck, eh?
Thank you. Let's see what Karen knows about this sword. You're looking well, Karen.
What you want? Out with it.
I want to know about the sword you showed Blackthorn. Single-edged and extremely sharp.
Running around after him again, are you?
I suppose I am, yes.
Are you doing Doom 2 on Ultraviolence as well, or hurt me plenty?
Little wonder, I suppose. There's not many like that make it as far as the twins, and those that do go straight into private collections. Which made it nice and easy finding a buyer.
Can you tell me who bought it? Where is it now?
You think I tell people who my clients are? Suppose you're not likely to go nicking him off me, are you now? Fine. If you stop mooning at me like that. Lord Ignac's the man you want. Delmechian bloke. Collects weapons and the like. And he's got more money than sense, which is why he's one of my favourite clients. Reckon he'll still be at the inn in Dalamil, where I left him.
Thank you, Karen.
Oh. And he's...
You be for Doom 2. I got my pride to mend after Sigil 2. Understandable.
I appreciate the warning.
Oh. Especially back when Eternal came out and a bunch of people thought, "Oh, I'm a veteran with Doom. I'll do Ultraviolence," and then got their ass kicked. Pretty sure the same thing happened with the Plutonia experiment. Alright, looks like I won't be able to do any of that yet. At least not until I finish the story mission. Which is my fault. Get to Plutonia again, I promise not to cry. Do not make promises you can't keep. In fact, if you ended up playing Plutonia on I'm Too Young to Die, I don't think anyone will blame you. I mean, it's not going to help much, but it's something.
Better. Thanks to Taya.
I'm glad to hear it.
And Torgal helped too. The new boy.
I would be interested to see how you'd handle
This used to be a trade route for
Now,
merchants crossing the scars. Till the Republic laid a new road wide.
Dragon. Plutonia is
It's not a case. It's not a case of sad.
Leaving this one for those living
It's a case of pain.
Indeed. I doubt we'll be the only outlaws on the trail today.
Wait, why am I taking the long route?
Ready, go?
Oh, that's why. You know what? Maybe going on foot might be the better option.
So what do you think? That we'd be lucky to make it out alive.
Really? It's as bad as that?
Oh, aye. There's trouble up ahead. And too much of it for us to handle.
I take it
Subtle.
there's danger on the road.
Yeah, Plutonia's levels are small. They're just. It's just.
Fellow. You think he'd be equal to the task?
Well, no doubt. Assuming he's willing to hear us out. Well met, friend. My brother and I have been tasked with finding a merchant's missing cart. You seen it by any chance?
How does a merchant misplace his cart?
Oh, the man's a coward. When he thought goblins might come a-snarling, he ran, leaving his livelihood abandoned in the...
Jonas here is giving us the most obvious trap.
To fetch it, but it's gone. Now, I'm not much of a thinker, but I know the work of thieves when I see it.
My brother's right on all accounts. And by my estimation, the bastards are lying in wait just down the road.
We may have seen our share of action, true, but we've not got the skill in arms to boldly brave an ambush.
Wow, these guys are laying it on thick.
Have the look of a man who needn't fear a band of backwater ruffians. What do you say? Will you help us out? Chances are they'll come for you either way. But if you promise to lend us a hand, at least you'll pocket a reward for your troubles.
Well, if I'm going to have to deal with them anyway.
You've clearly got a fine head on those broad shoulders.
We're lucky you came along. Now, hoping to make a heavy purse in Bocklad, our merchant friend loaded his cart with as much as it would carry. Reckon he won't be forking over the rest of our fee if we don't find those goods. So, while you're seeing to those bandits, you keep your eyes open.
All right. Just don't expect me to drag the cart out of there myself.
No. You can leave the cart to us. You just put an end to those bandits and point us in the right direction. You do that, we'll take care of the rest.
Every time a trap sprung, I said, Romero, that's not nice. Well, it isn't. That's why he did it.
I'm not sure I trust those two. But if there are bandits lying in wait, I should probably take care of them.
Look lively, you lot.
Guests. These must be our bandits.
Although if that... You know, if we can get Romero to make levels again, I think there's any chance we could get the Casali brothers back together to do that. Actually, scratch that. That would be a horrifying idea. Just imagine what would happen if you gave Dario and Mario Casali that same limiting removal port of Doom 2 that that Romero was doing with Sigil in Doom 1.
Where's that card?
Casali, Romero, Zazer. That would be both equal parts awesome and horrifying. I think what would be equally funny is inevitably some journalist would say, "Oh, it's too hard," and Dario would be like, "I got no sympathy," because that's exactly what he said in that interview with Doomworld all those years ago.
Seems we found ourselves the right man for the job, wouldn't you say?
Found the cart and didn't leave a single bastard breathing. Our merchant friend will be delighted.
And how exactly will he be getting his goods out of here?
You leave that to us. After all, it'd be wrong to make such a fine warrior haul cabbages to market.
You've done your part. And that's all you need to worry about. Here. It's been a pleasure. Now piss off.
There's no need to be so rude, brother. What if we want his help again next time?
Yeah,
I see the Dalmex lag behind.
and both him and his brother have made good names for themselves, even if they're not directing projects themselves.
The path continues on the other side.
I mean, yeah, one of them did work at Ubisoft, but let's not hold that against him. Those defense nodes remind me of Ozma just enough to piss me off. I will note the Ozma in FF9, not the Ozma in DFO. I know that was obvious, but I have to keep all my bases covered. Final Sin, the Namekian Republic.
So this is Zemeckis.
The land of the gods. It's even more impressive than I imagined. I remember being captivated by the story as a child.
Long, long ago, man was overcome by avarice.
I knew who you meant. And of course you would.
Their power. The final battle took place here, in these falls. Or so the legend goes. If anyone ever manages to plumb those depths, perhaps we'll learn if there's any truth to the tale.
That the gods emerged victorious and punished man for his defiance.
Ah, crap. There's a
By
desync.
visiting upon him 2 curses.
Dominant sin bearers. To tell the truth, I always thought it strange that the dominants and their icons were deemed a curse. Back home, the dominant inherited the throne. They were admired and exalted, not spurned. Whenever I got to that part of the story, I always assumed there must be something I'd misunderstood.
You had a lot of storybooks, didn't you? In your room, I mean. When we were young.
The old legends were always my favorites. Epic battles between gods and men. Father encouraged me to read as much as I could. He thought it good for my education.
You really were a boy like any other, weren't you?
Just look at this place. It's enough to make you believe the legends are true.
I know.
The gods? Probably not.
We're not far from Boklad. The road will be busier up ahead.
And we'll have to keep our wits about us. Clive? Something wrong?
Nothing. It's nothing.
Meanwhile,
I see the reports are true, Father. You have surrendered the throne to Olivier.
I have. Emperor Olivier shall rebuild the Holy Empire of Sanbreque.
How is he to rule an empire? He is but a boy.
I shall advise him until he comes of age.
Father, please.
Or for as long as I am able. The empire we seek to build needs young blood to rule it. And I can think of none better suited to the task. There is other news, Dion. Hugo Kupka is dead, and Drake's Fang destroyed. The pillars of the Republic have fallen. Ere long, the Imperial banner shall fly over every city in Storm. And then, Valisthea. All shall bow before their Emperor.
Father, these are the words of a tyrant.
They are the words of a god. The Emperor whom I gladly serve. Great Greeker, made flesh. Return to your camp, Dion, and ready your forces. It is time to show the world the true power of Sanbreque.
as I said before, Dion a good man,
Father,
serving an undeserving ruler.
I find you much changed. Is this truly the path you wish to tread? Or are these the ambitions of another? Of Ultima, perhaps?
What nonsense is this? I speak my mind, and my mind only.
Though I do owe Annabella thanks for reminding me of certain truths regarding the nature of nations, of rulers, and of the divine.
You trust the words of this traitress? She betrayed her country. She slew her husband.
You have ever been an invaluable servant to Sambrek, Prince Dion. I trust you will continue to serve your emperor in the wars to come.
The canker! Silence! Insolent wretch! You will bend the knee. All else is heresy.
Sire, forgive me.
This audience is over. Come, Your Radiance. The Rowena Syndicate awaits your pleasure.
Oh, not another meeting with silly old men. They're so boring. I'm hungry, Father. Can't we have luncheon instead?
Does it pain you that you will not inherit your father's throne?
I have suffered worse.
Count your blessings, Dion. For a base-born child to be chosen by Bahamut is miracle enough. You have risen high on his wings, but you shall rise no higher, lest your impure blood stain the throne.
What do you know of my blood?
Bitch. Nothing more needs to be said than that.
The Boklab markets are to the north. We just need to hug the coast.
Looks like it's going to be a long trip.
Ready, go?
Infiltrating the Dominion won't be easy with the Imperials on high alert.
No. His Radiance has lost one capital already. We can be sure Sylvester will do everything in his power to hold on to Twinside. His troops are well-trained and increasingly battle-hardened. But it's not as if we can wait for the siege to end. More refugees.
And they're all making for the Crystalline Dominion.
Because they don't know how to live without the crystal's blessing. Back to the stables, girl.
There are no crystals here.
This is where we're supposed to meet Goots, isn't it?
That's right. He said he'd wait for us here after replenishing his supplies. I dare say he'll have finished by now.
Let me carry your goods. I'm cheap.
Peaches and pears. Plates and beans.
Oh. There is a shop back here.
Out of my sight, wretch. I've no use for a brand you can't even fill my...
What are you looking for?
Let's see. Enhancer. I'll take that meteorite.
Many thanks. You've a discerning eye. You're welcome anytime.
And I am certain that Annabelle will be getting hers in due time.
Wonders from across the water. Come one, come all. Feast your eyes. Good sir, can I interest you in...
How much? For a measly crust of bread?
You won't find any cheaper. Not nowadays. They are more than welcome to look.
At least he's honest.
The Empire's unlawful and illegitimate occupation of the crystalline dominion is still in effect. Only those whose business in Twinside has been officially approved by the Republican Army will be permitted to cross the border. All who seek entry are to form a line and ready their documents for inspection.
Looks like we aren't the only ones who are eager to leave.
And they're checking everyone.
Can't you make an
Not for the likes of you.
We won't get through without that pass. Let's go and find Good, shall we? He must be around here somewhere.
Come taste my peaches. They're sweet as nectar.
Oh, there he is.
Ah, Good. There you are.
Clive, I'm so sorry. Don't tell Nan, will you?
Slow down, Good. Just tell us what happened.
It's me trader's pass. It's gone. We cannot ride the caravan without it. We won't even be able to get through the flipping checkpoint.
Do you remember when you last saw it?
Somebody pilfered
It
it.
was in my pocket a minute ago. Then a bairn bumped into me and...
Yep.
Yeah. You don't think that they might have nicked it, do you?
It wouldn't surprise me. A busy market like this is prime territory for pickpockets.
So, to get the pass back, we need to find this child. Where would we even start?
I know where. I've got a pal in Bocklad who might be able to help us. No one knows more about what goes on round here than she does.
Where do we find her?
She's the owner of the Crimson Caravans, up that way. Sign's got a red chocobo on it.
No time like the present.
You two go on ahead. I'm gonna check the rest of my stuff, make sure nothing else is missing.
All right. We'll meet you there.
Let's keep an eye out for this red chocobo, then.
And the other on our purses.
It's next to the checkpoint.
Of course, a place like this would have a bunch of pickpockets.
Looking to hire a coach? It's 10 million for a two-birder to the Crystalline Dominion. Take it or leave it.
Oh, we're not here for that.
Then I bid you good day.
Oh, wait! Don't go, El. He's me mate.
As I live and breathe. Goots, what are you doing back in Bocklad? I gather Lady Karen didn't send you. So what trouble have you got yourself into this time?
It's me trader's pass. It got stolen. By a little bairn.
Of all the... You're the size of a marble. Honestly. Ugh.
No,
It's told us that
marbles
you
are
know the
bigger.
markets well. Might you have an idea which little bairn could have done this?
We don't intend to punish them. We just need our pass back. Then, we can be on our way.
see. So neither of you has a trader's pass either. Not that anyone would take you for traders. But I suppose that's why you came to me, correct? Now, I can't say for sure who took your pass, but I suspect I know why they did it. Let me explain. Ever since the Fist marched on the Dominion, the Republic has been clamping down on any commerce that might aid the Empire more than it does us. Which means traders' passes have gone from being merely a way of easing one's progress to being essential if one wishes to cross the border at all. And with demand outstripping supply, they've become a precious commodity, leading some to seek to acquire them by less than legitimate means.
So the children are stealing passes to sell on the black market?
Yes and no. Passes are inscribed with the names of their owners, and yet none of the victims' names have appeared on the register of those passing through the checkpoint.
Which means?
That someone is doctoring the stolen passes. The same someone who is encouraging the children to steal them. And the same someone who has Goots's pass, no doubt. Whoever they are, they're ruining the livelihoods of honest merchants, which is why we've decided to take a stand. Will you stand with us? You want to get your pass back, and we want to ensure that no more are stolen. Catch whoever's behind it all, and two birds shall be slain with a single stone.
Is there any other way of getting to the Crystalline Dominion, Goots?
They won't let you in if you're not with the caravan. It's that, I don't know, try swimming across the strait. But the guards will definitely spot you if you try and do that. Like, we don't want to get spotted, right?
So either we find the people who took the pass, or give up all hope of entering the Dominion.
All right. We'll help.
I don't relish the idea of swimming across the English Channel.
But I don't know your name. Eloise at your service.
Clive.
A pleasure doing business with you, Clive. The proprietor of the furniture makers by the coach stop is spearheading the search. Wear that, and he will know you for a friend. I suggest that you speak with him first.
The furniture makers. Understood.
I never said I wasn't a big fan of swimming.
Out of my sight, wretch.
Come on, come on!
Jug of snake spit for the road?
Juicy pears! Slake your thirst!
Are you the furniture maker?
Looking for something in particular? Ah, Eloise collared you too, eh? Then I expect you want to know more.
She told me you were leading the hunt for the pickpockets. What have you learned?
For one, that they're targeting the traders carrying the biggest packs. Harder to watch your back, see? And less chance of the mark giving chase if they're spotted. Not that they'd be likely to catch them.
But I heard spooning, and I was
Know every inch of this
about to say, I beg your damn pardon.
Their eyes must have lit up when they saw Goots.
Get your head out of the gutter.
Man by the gate's been trying to track down the children involved. You should go and have a word with her.
Thank you. We will.
won't find anything of this quality in Twinside.
You should come with me to the Dominion. Life will...
Fish for sale! Fresh sorted and smoked! Can I interest you? Ah, sorry. Message from Eloise, is it?
She's asked me to help her. To help you.
Clearly.
Find the
You have, clearly you have your moments.
Is that so? Suppose I better tell you what I know then. For one, this isn't a family operation. All the traders say the children who stole their passes were dirty, dressed in rags. Street urchins, by the sound of it. We get a lot around here.
Orphans from the wars.
A few, perhaps. You saw the refugees gathered by the entranceway? They're all looking for a new start in the Dominion and beyond. Some of them take it as an opportunity to rid themselves of unwanted baggage.
The shame of it.
Whoever's behind this would have to have made themselves known to the children at some point.
And so should we.
You should start with the children around here, then. I doubt they're the ones involved, but they might have heard something.
It's worth a try.
All right, then. Questioning children. How hard can that be?
Very.
Tight-fisted swines. Remember when half...
Come, taste my peaches! They're sweet as nectar! Mine is everywhere for the free cities! All but unbreakable!
The caravan stops next to the checkpoint. Show them your trade.
Excuse me.
What do you want? I don't have any money.
It's all right. We're not going to hurt you. We just want to talk.
What about?
We've heard that some very bad people are making children like you steal from travelers. We need to know who's behind it so we can stop them.
I don't know much about it, really. But my friend, Honza, he said he got a job doing something dangerous.
Sounds promising.
We need to find him and ask.
Do you know where your friend might be?
He's usually by the tents outside town.
Thank you. You've been very helpful.
Come on, come on!
And
Me carry your goods. I'm cheap.
I do have a feeling that this particular thing is going to lead to a brawl.
That's that then.
She must have meant the refugee camp.
Let's hope he's still nearby.
Daddy, I'm hungry.
Oh. Speaking of...
That big fat donkey was easy pickings. He wouldn't have noticed if we robbed his boots off him.
Yeah. Wish we hadn't handed over the pass, though. Could use one of those things to get out of this dump.
Chance would be a fine thing. The moment they found out, they'd string us up by our guts.
Would they now? Perhaps you'd like to introduce us to these charming characters.
Shit, we're in trouble now.
What do we do?
You two get caught if you want. I'm off.
Hunter, where are you going?
So that was Hunter, eh? Jill, you watch these two. I'm going after him.
All right.
He can't have gone far. I need to find him before his employers do. Did you see a boy run past? He stole something from a friend of mine.
There was a boy ran back there towards the chocobo pen, but...
Thank you.
Okay, not exactly what I was looking for, but I'll take it. There you are.
Shit. Cornered.
It's all right, Hansa. I'm not going to hurt you.
If I'm being honest, I'm missing context too.
Questions?
Fine. Not like I've got a choice.
I'm looking for the people who are making you steal for them. Who are they?
Called themselves the Carstones. They said they'd give me good gill if I did what they told me. I knew they were bad, but bread doesn't come for free. Didn't come at all half the time, before I started buzzing for them. You know, if I didn't do it, they'd just pick on someone else. Someone they could push around easier.
Hansa.
You found him then?
Jill. Where are the other two?
Eloise is watching over them. She sent Goots and I to look for you.
You're... him!
I haven't got your pass anymore, if that's what you're after. I gave it to the Carstones. Whatever you do to me, I can't get it back. Not that I go against them anyway. If it weren't for their gill, me and my mates would have...
Dragon? The joke's dead, let it go. Sometimes you have to let a joke die.
Cowards. You will not force another child to do your bidding.
Wait, we're not...
Don't hurt him.
Okay, I won't hurt him, I'll just rough him up a little.
You're making a mistake. We're on the same side.
Like hell we are. That brooch. Where did you get it?
Master Theo?
Goots. What are you doing with these people? Unless you're the ones my sister was talking about.
Your sister?
I can see it.
Eloise didn't tell us she had a brother.
And why would she? I'm just her back and a blade. Theodore, at your service. Sorry about before.
Theodore, what do you know of the Cast Stones?
Vultures who have made Boklad their hunting ground. They prey on the desperate, stealing from those with gill and bullying those without it into joining their flock. I'd been looking into their activities in hope of sparing the refugees any further hardship. But it seems they've already stooped even lower than I'd feared. Hansa's a good lad. Don't blame him for what they've made him do. If he and his friends hadn't agreed to work for the Stones, some other poor souls would have. On pain of death, most likely. Clive, was it?
Yeah, I could see the attire similarities.
Then we all want the same thing.
Where is it?
So, what's the plan?
What else? We find the Carstones and we crush them.
Oh, that's the easy part.
Pass back, and I make Boklad a safe place again.
All right then.
All right then. Hansa, where are they camped? Don't worry. They'll never know you told us.
Couldn't if I wanted to. They always come to town to collect the passes. Meet us outside the gate. I tried following them once, but they spotted me halfway down the trail. Said they'd string me up.
We'll try it this time. Which way were they going?
Back down the road towards Lateney's Cleft.
To Lateney's Cleft, then?
Maybe he has Magnum Break in his arsenal. Probably not, but I do.
Lateney's Cleft is to the south, past the camp.
Should not have scared any of my birds.
Alright, we're going the right direction.
Daddy, I'm hungry.
Let's go.
Training the swordsman. Not exactly. But I have a lot of fun times with Ragnarok, even though a lot of my time with Ragnarok was spent on private servers more than the official ones. I had a pretty good battle priestess at one point in the official servers. I still have Ragnarok Tactics on the PSP. She is technically correct.
Not a bad haul today, eh?
Aye. Some of our new recruits are natural-born ne'er-do-wells.
Especially the little ones. That Hans has got nimble fingers, all right.
It will be a shame when they chop them off. But till then, let's make the most of it.
And there's our camp.
Scum.
And
Of the cast stones, I take it.
one of these days I'll go back to Ragnarok and get
They
knighted.
don't deserve any mercy, Clive.
I wasn't planning on showing them any.
Maybe.
Oh, I'm ready.
I know there's been attempts to modernize the game when it comes to quest work, but it's always felt kind of iffy. Ow.
Nice try.
And it will surprise you absolutely none at all, but I played a lot of Monk in my time with Ragnarok. And there was nothing like exploring Midgard with no real direction, but you had to be careful of where you went. It ultimately comes down to a difference in design philosophy. The original Ragnarok Online was built, especially with those internet cafes in mind and that sandbox style of MMOs. As far as between combo or spirit monk, I think I was combo monk, but it has been so long, and I'm pretty sure my account was lost a long time ago. Do not quote me on that.
And they say crime doesn't pay. Gold chains, rings, purses. And traders' passes. Dozens of them.
Have the names been changed?
Not yet. I recognize some of them. No doubt Goots's is somewhere among them. Now I just need to sort through it all and return everything to the people it was taken from.
We should go and give Eloise the good news. Can we leave things here in your hands, Theodore?
Of course. Oh, and, be sure to tell her of the part I played, won't you?
We'll be glad to.
Spin a yarn. I did try Taekwondo Kid when that was a thing, but something about it didn't quite sit with me. Pretty much both of those attempts at special classes didn't sit with me. I think it's because they were so removed from the way class progression worked with everything else. You know, same problem they had with Ninja and Gunslinger. But again, I can't go into specifics given how long it was about why it didn't sit with me. It just didn't.
Ah, Clive. How goes the hunt? My brother isn't getting in your way, I trust?
Quite the opposite.
So it was the cast stones who were behind it all. Theo told me he'd been on their trail. And their demise solves 3 problems at a stroke. That of the pickpockets, the bandits pulling their strings, and the passes they were stealing. I only hope yours is among the items you recovered. Only time and Theo's return will tell. Speaking of whom, welcome home, dear brother.
You are too kind, Eloise. Here, Clive. Goots' pass. Ask him to keep a closer eye on it from now on, would you?
I will. Thank you.
El, I've asked our boys to carry the rest of the goods back. Can I count on your help in sorting through it all?
Of course. I'll make some space in the storeroom. I expect you'll soon be on your way then. But it wouldn't do to leave without
Mostly played
introducing
priests and
yourself
wizards. Still have dreams of getting a knight.
Would it now? Sid. Don't look so shocked. We're on the same side.
I don't understand.
As you now know all too well, we at the Crimson Caravans are always happy to help those in need. For a small fee, we will move anything that needs moving. Be that goods to market, or bearers away from it.
I was the first my sister helped escape. If it wasn't for her, I'd have been branded as a boy.
I had no idea.
It just so happens that we are seeking to expand our operation. And who better to join forces with than the leader in the field? Wouldn't you agree, Theo?
I would. It seems our purpose is the same in more ways than one. So what would you say to working together again?
It would be our pleasure.
And our honor. The honor is ours.
Here, Clive. This is for you.
Crimson Compass.
What is it?
Hell has friends in high places, while I have associates in lower ones. That mark is proof that you're a friend to us both.
I shall bear it with pride.
Well, all that remains is to wish you a safe onward journey.
I wonder if somebody's done fan art of all of the seals you end up getting in the game.
If you encounter any difficulties, we would be delighted to provide you with a coach of our own. For a discounted price, of course. Say, 9 million?
We'll try the caravan.
I had at one point thought of doing a skirmish war game loosely based on Ragnarok, but I couldn't get it to work the way I wanted it to, so the project kind of ended up in limbo. Of course, then Zephyr came along and basically outdid me. Though I have considered converting Zephyr's setup into Ragnarok's.
Caravan stops next to the
What I really want to be is a...
Here you are, Goods. Try not to lose it again.
Me pass! You found it! Oh, thank you so much. Nan would have killed me if I'd come back without it. I'll have to say thanks to Elle and Theo, too.
So should you, Hansa. You and your friends don't have to steal anymore. If anyone threatens you again, you know who to turn to.
We do. And we already
It'd be
have.
interesting to have a Ragnarok tabletop game.
The chocobo shit out the
Yeah, I've considered it,
There's hard work, and
but
the pay isn't half what we got
the only reason I haven't gone all in with it is because trying to have a similar kind of class advancement system,
Sorry for stealing your pass.
That's all right.
I'm gonna have to make some things out of whole cloth.
All's well that ends well, eh?
And I'm certainly not going to be replicating the skill system in the
I'm
game.
gonna be your first customer. I'm gonna save up all my gil and get you to make me a massive sword.
I'll do me best.
Till then, eh?
All right. We have a place on the wagon. Remember, Goots, we're mercenaries. You hired us to protect you.
Goots is going to blow our cover.
Mercenaries.
And you remember the plan? You're to ride all the way to Twinside. Jill and I will go with you as far as the outskirts, then find our own way in.
I'll buy that stuff I need.
Right. And we'll scout out the Imperial's defenses.
There's a square with a big bell tower right in the middle of town. If you get lost, or out goes wrong, we can meet up there.
You just jinxed.
Let's go.
I see. And you're quite certain your father has no knowledge of Ultima?
I am. I have no difficulty believing a sinister force has come to exert an influence on Sanbreque. But be that as it may, it is yet to claim my father. For better or worse, his radiance speaks his own mind.
Definitely worse.
Then the fiend works from the shadows.
I confess, when first you told me of this fiend, I had my doubts. few at that. A beast that labors to plunge Valisthea into turmoil, all in pursuit of your brother. But that wound is proof enough that evil is afoot.
Then I have your answer, Your Highness. You will join me in my fight.
I cannot. Not yet.
Your Highness, please.
As you are aware, the Dhalmekian army is at our gates. They have lost their mother crystal, and with it all hope of a negotiated withdrawal. It is but a matter of time before they invade. If Bahamut is not here to meet them, my people will be slaughtered.
Though not by Hugo Kupka, thanks to Ultima's machinations. I know the fate of your people weighs heavy on your conscience, but if we do not put an end to Ultima's plans, they shall face a far darker fate. The chaos he would wreak would sweep all of
At least
us.
someday Final Fantasy would come to Xbox. I bet a bunch of people enjoy it. It already is on Xbox. Jeez, what are you talking about?
I believe what you say, Phoenix. But I have duties of my own, and I must discharge them. Come what may. What do you know of my blood?
I know that it is wholly unworthy of the highest offices of state, which rightly belong to those of purer breeding.
Some of the games I think are PlayStation exclusive. Not as much as
Your
it was a
bloodline
few
runs
years
through
ago.
the Oriflamme gutter, from a whore who weighed her child's worth in gill.
Have you threatened my father?
Of course not. I
So
merely
the
whispered in
Japanese
his
only
ear
says the Japanese don't really like the Xbox.
that his mongrel son is plotting a rebellion.
What?
Sylvester listens to the words of his astrologers. And they have ears too.
You have been feeding them your lies.
Well,
Should you remain loyal to Emperor
there are various reasons the Xbox didn't catch on. I know some would like to pin it down to an East-West divide, but things are never that simple. Meanwhile, Annabelle here is still a
In
bitch.
consideration of your long years of service to the Empire, I shall forgive this uncharacteristic rudeness. Now hurry and make ready, Your Imperial Highness. Emperor Olivier expects much of you, Dion. Or should I say, of Bahamut. May your fire reduce his enemies to ash. Till all of Valisthea bows to its rightful ruler.
Watching a video about actual monks called Schema. Interesting.
There is another darkness that has taken hold of Sanbreque. And until its grip is released, the flames of war shall spread ever wider, just as Ultima wishes.
Forgive me. My family has caused you much grief.
You are not her keeper, Phoenix.
They're an Orthodox.
This is a matter for the Imperial household now.
I may look into
Remember
that sometime
household
later.
falls to me to resolve it. At such time as that is done, what strength I have shall be yours.
Thank you, Your Highness.
It's your guys' favorite anime of all time. Do you have any idea how little that narrows it down?
Bring a new dawn to Valisthea.
I should like nothing more.
Terence. My prince. Tell me true. Do you believe what I'm about to do is wrong?
We dragoons have but one leader, Your Highness. And we shall follow him unto the very end.
Thank you. And this is my decree. For their crimes against the crown, the traitorous Annabella and her usurping son shall be put to death, and the Empire restored.
And as tempting as it would be to continue onward straight to the Crystalline Dominion, actually, unfortunately, we have to. So, what's the Great Scheme of Orthodoxy, Secret Monastic Order by Talaboros. He does a lot of stuff on religion and just stuff like that, not just Christianity. Interesting. But I will note, even though I call myself a gaming monk, it's not like I'm of any one denomination. That would kind of defeat the purpose. Let's hold for a bit of loading. That and, well, there's so many different denominations that picking one would be kind of pointless. Oh, looks like we got in fine.
One would never guess that these people stood on the brink of war.
They're afraid. They turn to drink to forget their fears.
We're dealing with another desync.
The harbor is empty, and half the market stalls too. The city may seem peaceful on the surface, but it's balanced on a knife edge. Were we to give it a nudge, it might be just the distraction we need to reach the Mother Crystal.
I thought you might say that. We should send for Gav. We'll need someone to keep the fires we start from going out.
And we can busy ourselves scheming until he gets here.
Raised Catholic, but I kind of moved away from the whole denomination thing, but I still follow some Catholic teachings. Oh, that's all fair. Whenever someone's asked me my own denomination, I've just said, if you need to ask, you're asking the wrong question.
What is it, boy?
Oh, looks like the fire started. But probably not the way it was intended. Well, aren't you a familiar face? When can we get the Bible too?
What's happening?
I don't want that.
I don't know. Torgal. This way.
There in the sky. I'm not going to go so far as to call it that peak, but I do enjoy some bits. And fortunately, we cannot save right now. So we need to keep going for a little while longer.
The one with the bell tower, in the middle of town, right?
Any guard, watchman, or sentry is to be slain on sight.
But spare the citizenry. His Highness's orders were clear. The people are to come to no harm at our hands.
Those were Imperial Dragoons.
Is there more of an Urusei Yatsuri? Okay. There's room for both.
Let's go and see.
But I try to minimize using the term peak as a descriptor. Aside from it being a bit genericized of a term, a peak implies there's nowhere else to climb. And that doesn't sit with me. But
It's all right.
But with that said, we will put a pause on this. We'll end up continuing within the next couple days. But I will see you all here, hopefully tomorrow, as we continue onward with our look at Weird Space for the Valley of the Judged. And there is the possibility that I'll go a little bit further tomorrow. And Saturday will be the Cloister of the Dice, where we are going to be doing a bit of Beacon. But until then, on behalf of the good brothers present and not present, my name is Mildra. I am your gaming monk. Stay fucking frosty, everybody.
遅い上洛が上長年関税を5年関税を年々上新規